Greetings. Happy Friday. Happy Venus Day. Collective fam. I hope everybody's doing well. Long time to speak, it feels like, kind of. so, so I hope everybody's been doing well and enjoying your Friday so far. Some of you guys, it's your last work day. Some of you guys might have to work tomorrow. Some of you guys, you just chilling. It's 3-day weekend. Some of you guys might have Labor Day off. Some of you may not. But regardless of whatever your schedule, your situation is, I hope that you are enjoying your day or you make the most of it. Make the most of your weekend. So I'm just going to tap in. But before I do have a channel message. I feel for some of you that this will resonate with. It's not everyone's message. If it doesn't make sense, doesn't resonate with you, it may not be your message, right? Because this should only serve as a confirmation more than anything, or just a very illustrated revelation for you of what already is. So, so some of you guys are in this period of transition. Maybe you feel like you've been here for a minute. Maybe you have. I know for me, like, it's been probably like 3 years since 2020 that I feel like this, the shift within a particular area of my life, or maybe all areas, I don't know, but just a particular area of my life, um, been called to that change. And it takes a while. And oftentimes transitions are uncomfortable because you are moving out of one energy into another. And change is not always something that's welcomed, or it's not always a comfortable thing, right? Um, in other words, it's like outgrowing a space, outgrowing a shoe that you no longer fit. It's going to start hurting your feet, right? Your feet are too big. So it's uncomfortable. And when you're in an uncomfortable spot or space, oftentimes that's a sign to you that you've outgrown it. It's no longer for you. Your capacity has expanded. So, yeah, never doubt. Like, life is not about necessarily just being comfortable, because even when you are in a good position or situation, even with that, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be things that kind of, push you. There's going to be things that are meant to strengthen you, help you to grow, expand your mind, your consciousness, whatever, right? Expand your territory, your environment. So, with that, it does take a lot of courage to move into that place of transition. So, if you resonate with this message thus far, let's go ahead and pull some cards. I'm going to pull them from my own oracle deck, my divine energy oracle deck, just for some messages. Holy Spirit, divine team, beloved ancestors, Elohims, angels of divine light, love. Thank you, divine source. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. You don't have to know, and this is another thing too, that being too spiritual sometimes looks like trying to always have an explanation or a reason why, or needing to know the answer, or needing to know exactly where you're going. Sometimes spiritual things, in essence, really is what is felt. It's a presence, it's an essence. It's not physical per se. It can manifest physically, but it's an essence. It's a sense, right? Feeling, an inner knowing. It's a connectivity. It doesn't have to be something physical and tangible, visible to your physical eye or to the touch. So when it comes to like certain things that maybe, let's say for instance, if this message is resonating with you, you're feeling called to move in a new direction, or you're in an uncomfortable spot and you're unsure whether or not you should, let's say, leave a job that no longer serves you, or leave a relationship, or cut certain things out of your life, whatever that may be, right? You don't have to exactly know, if I do this thing, okay, well, what comes next? where am I? You don't have to know all of that. Not always. And of course, the human mind, we want that security and that safety to say, if I leave this job today, is there going to be something better that comes its way? And yes, that is something that you should consider. You should consider being on your feet, being stable. But sometimes it's like when you make certain decisions, you don't always have that um physical proof. And even if you know that, yes, if I leave this relationship, there's a good chance that I could be single forever, or there could be a chance that I could run into another person like this, or I could think more positively and say, if I leave this relationship, I'll have a better relationship with myself and make myself available for something healthier. You don't have to know how the situation unfolds to the T and to the exact moment. And if I do this, how long is it going to be before something else happens or before something else comes along? If I start or launch this new thing, is it going to be successful? Yeah, those are things to consider. Yes, it's a human thing to want to make sure that you're secure, make sure that good things happen for you. And it's not to say that it doesn't, but your fear of needing to know everything takes away from your spiritual connectivity. And that's why I be like, I got to check myself sometimes. And I also notice this about just people in general, where we talk about we're spiritual, but we're also too physical. We're too attached to the material thing. We say we're spiritual, but everything we're so attached to cards. The cards got to tell us what it is. We're so, oh, to express that I'm a spiritual person, I got to dress like this, I got to talk like this, use this lingo. And that takes away from the spiritual experience. It takes away from the spiritual connectivity. Spirit, like I said, it's an essence, it's a energy. It's not solely about all of this physical shit. These are just additions to, just an addition. So when you're in this transition period, whether it's you launching yourself into something new, whether it's you taking action or making strides towards changing your life for the better, leaving, and that sometimes, like I said, it requires you to leave things in the past, whether that's your mindset and or people or an environment, a living situation, whatever it is. Once you make that stride to change, you have to trust in the process, even if that means you don't know how the story is going to unfold. That's like watching a movie. You go to watch the movie and you're so anxious to see the ending, you're not enjoying the movie itself. You're not enjoying the in between moments and scenes. You're anxious to see, how does this story end? I need to know. And that's kind of like how life is, or certain moments in time in our life where we want to know how it ends, and it takes away from living. It takes away from being present in life. You don't have to know every single thing. Okay. Some of you guys may feel a little anxious about starting something new. And I just want to start off with this card, the Trailblazer card. So, whatever it is that for some of you, whatever your transition is, it may require you starting something new. Okay. Stepping into a path that may be something that hasn't been done before, or something that you may feel like is not popular, may not be mainstream. It could be like something that people in your immediate environment that know you, is something that may shock them, like a path or something that you're doing, but it's like this path is leaving leaving a trail for others. Like it's an inspiration for others. It may not be an immediate spark. It could be like a few people that support you. It could be maybe no one supports you in the beginning, but it is something in the long term that will have results of positive results. So another thing too, in our society, day and age, everything is microwavable. That includes success. That includes if you launch something, we just feel like immediately it needs to take off. It needs to be viral. It needs to be successful. And we forgot about the organic way of building the path too, right? Steve Jobs and all of them, they did not just launch these things and immediately it just took off. It takes time. You know what I mean? And yes, social media, we have it at our advantage, but there's a whole bunch of things that go into the matrix of social media. So certain things do require patience, does require building. It does require trial and error, in order to adjust, to fix, to change. Might take some years before something is launched, and that is completely fine. Whatever this energy is, I do see a little bit of warfare behind it. Maybe a little bit of hater energy with the Judas and the evil eye card. Because whatever this is that you're stepping into, it could just be you, changing something about your life and yourself, moving into something maybe different that people around you are like, would shame you for. Oh, you think you too good, or um, you trying to be somebody you're not, or it could be like a family because you got the generational wealth and health, where maybe, let's use this as an example. Not everyone graduated from college in their family. Some people are the first person to go to college in their family. So it could be this thing of like, oh, you think you're better, you're doing this, you're trying to get your education. I'm seeing something with the justice system or the legal system with the divine justice card. So whatever you're doing, it is going to generate, this is going to shift your generational, like it's going to shift the dynamic and the pattern. Not to say that you won't have, some degenerates in your family still, or some people that just kind of don't want to do better, but you're going to start to see the shift. People are going to start paying attention to how you do things, where other people are, in your family might have thought that it was impossible for them to do things at a certain age, or due to their circumstances they can't go after their dreams, or they can't seek education, or you're going to show them that no, you can, or you can have a healthy relationship, you can have a healthy marriage, you can have a healthy relationship with your parents, and whatever the case may be, right? You can eat healthier, you don't have to succumb to drugs or alcohol. Like, you can do that. You're breaking the chains off of yourself, which in turn it is going to manifest itself into your generation, your family, your bloodline. And the wealth could also be financial wealth for some, or just having what you need all the days of your life. You're always going to be provided for and taken care of. Health, generational health. Again, it goes back to the mental health, the emotional health, the spiritual health of your family, your bloodline. And you'll know that you're on the right path because there's a sense of feeling free. There's this glow. There's this joy. There's this, it just feels right. Even if it doesn't make sense to anybody else around you, you have the soul glow card. So fresh and so clean. So another thing too is like some of this evil eye, some of this evil eye on you, or if you do, once you do, because you're always going to have somebody that is in opposition of you. It's just life. But if they got a problem, they need to take it up with God, right? Because it ain't your problem. Um, but anytime you're doing something, even this is the thing, like people think that people are jealous only of people that seem to have everything, like material wise, the looks, the status. No, the most, I feel like people will hate on a person that ain't got shit or seemingly doesn't have what people think you're supposed to have. Let's use this as an example. Let's say you don't have a car, and the person that's looking at you, hating on you, has the latest whatever. Let's say they have a, what's that car called? A Tesla car, right? Let's say they have one of those, and they're looking at you smiling and being happy on the bus, on the subway. You're a happy person. That irritates those people because some people put material, they put their wealth, they put their identity, their value into external things. Having a mate, having a high paying job, having good looks, being in shape. But if you are the opposite of what those things are, what people say or label as successful or whatever, and you're moving and you're still happy, you're still enjoying, you're still strong, you have not folded, that is something to be jealous of. And some people might not understand that. Like, why? Why would somebody be jealous of me? I don't have nothing, or I don't have this, I don't have that. They have everything. They have this, they have that. But some people don't have inner, some people don't have inner peace. Some people don't have joy. Some people don't Have the wisdom that you may carry to be okay in life, to get through things that most people would fold. Some things people would be ashamed or feel embarrassed if they had to start from square one, just ground zero. Some people would, it would be devastating to have to start all over. I don't know why I'm seeing the Twin Towers, but like, let's say, for example, like something such as that, the devastation of that, seeing all that gravel, and it seems like it would never, it's not going to be anything that could ever be fixed, right? Or it's going to take forever to fix this thing back. And lo and behold, you can rebuild again. You can do it. Most people would have just walked away and gave up. There's no point. The whole world has seen me fail. This person has seen me fail, and my family has seen me do this or seen me do that. But to pick it up and still keep going says a lot about you. Let me know if y'all can hear me, because I don't want to just be on here. Hey, Samantha. Happy Venus Day. Let me know if y'all can hear me, because anytime because a call did come through while I was on here, sometimes it knocks my microphone sound off. So let me know if somebody's on here. Just let me know if you can hear me. Okay, good. Yeah. And it may trigger some people to hear that because, I mean, it is what it is. It's not me coming at anybody, but if you place your wealth and your value on something external, you're always going to feel discontentment in your life. You're never going to be satisfied. When you can find contentment in having nothing or not being exactly where you want to be at the time that you want to, having the things that you want to have access to, or you have to be patient. If you don't know how to find joy in those moments and those times when you don't have, you know what I mean? The word trigger. Yeah, no. Certain stuff be overused and saturated, but y'all know what I'm saying. It's going to trigger some people because if that's just how it is, if that's how you are living your life based off of what you have, you know what I mean? You gotta do some inner work with that. Because these things they're very temporary. They're not gonna last long. And what you find is, like, through life, the older you get, the more you understand that life is a series of changes. There's moments where you're happy, there's moments where you are popping, where you are successful, where you're doing it, where you're highly desirable. There may be times where you're not. You know what I mean? But as long as you keep moving forward in life and you keep rebuilding, you're okay with starting over, starting fresh. You're okay with reinventing. You're okay with the evolution of you, then you'll be good. You'll be all right. But as long as you fold, and as a human, and I'm saying this from the most humblest place, because change, I don't handle it so well all the time. It depends on what it is. Um, So certain things are everything to me. And when that is not in a good place, it is stressful. It is scary at times, right? But I know that no matter what season I've gone through, these challenges or these down moments or these obstacles, this pressure moment, that I'm going to be good. I'm going to be okay. And that's how you have to look at it. You don't want to be attached to nothing, in a place where if I lose this, I can't live, or I'm nothing, I'm nobody, because I made this my identity for so long. Tarot, my channel, because it was the one thing in my life that I felt passionate about, I felt connected to, I felt purposeful, I felt useful, I felt validated as well. But when you're in, and when you out, you're out. I don't do the same numbers that I used to do. I don't get as much as attraction as I used to do. It's not the same. And certain things, like, they go through those seasons of changes, whether this is meant for me to do this and do other things still at the same time, or this is meant for me to just leave this alone and do other things, then, it is what it is. I don't really know. I don't know where the journey is taking me. All I know is what it is right now. It's still something that I have a passion for. There are times where I do just get discouraged. There are times where I don't feel appreciated. There's times where I do look at my numbers and say, what happened? and I beat myself up. And there's times where I say, you know what, whoever's supposed to be here is supposed to be here. Whoever's not is not. It is what it is. So things can change. And you got to be okay with that. You got to be able to find the silver lining in it. And it might take time to understand that. But I do feel like once you speak over something, a positive thing over a thing, whatever, I'm going to be the first to do this. I'm going to be the first to change that. Whatever it is that you're trailblazing, whatever that is, declare and speak over that. And let that be your reminder constantly on your journey that why you started what you did. That's the one thing that keeps me going on this. Like, even there's times with life that I'm not able to read. There's times where I'm energetically not in the place to read for y'all, you know. But I remember my first, like, what I said to myself when I first started this channel was, I want to come on here and I want to help people with love and relationships, and for them to have a healthy relationship with themselves, and myself included, because this channel helped me as well with my own self-esteem, self-love, breaking free out of toxic relationships. So I'm grateful for that. And that's the thing that motivates me. That is my declaration. That is my decree, that this channel was for to help people with loving themselves and having healthy relationships. That was the thing. That's what brought me here. Because back then, tarot was like on YouTube, it was like a few people, it was a handful of people. It was not as much like as you see. YouTube is saturated with tarot readers. It was not like that back in the day when I got on here. So it was a bit more like a humble beginning. It was more just for the love of it. It wasn't about numbers. It wasn't about subscribers. It wasn't about any of that, or business. That was never in my mind. Like, I didn't even think that was the furthest thing. I didn't even have the concept that I could do this for a living. I just didn't have that in my mind. That was the furthest thing from it. I didn't think anything of that. I just thought I was going to come on here and read for people, and that was it. That was it. It wasn't about how many subscriptions I got, because I don't even think people really paid attention to that back then. Not so much. Like, they didn't really care for the numbers. It was just like putting out content and doing what they love to do. And now it's kind of like this thing where, you know, it's about numbers and subscriptions and likes and views and shares. Like, it sucks, because if you don't get that, then your stuff is not going to make its rounds. And with the fact that the tarot community is so huge, the large number of readers, you just kind of get thrown into an algorithm and you might not make it around. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, very different from the beginning. But anyway, I want to clarify this Judas card because it's kind of off to itself. The King of Cups. What's the Judas card here? Why? Ten of Swords and the Magician. I'm kind of getting Jesus vibes from this, or what people depict Jesus to look like, because he has a fish totem around his neck. Kind of giving Jesus vibes a little bit, ain't he? Just a little. The Ten of Swords gives me crucifixion vibes, and then the Magician, because let's keep it 100. Jesus was a magician. He was. He was. At least what they depict him to be. To me, that sounds like a magician. But anyway, I feel like for some of you, you have a Christ consciousness about you, Christ-like energy. And I feel you might attract people that love you, but hate you at the same time. So it's kind of like there's things about you that are lovable. I benefit from you. I learn from you, but at the same time, I'm jealous of the energy that you carry, the energy that you possess. I'm a hater a little bit, right? That's kind of what I'm getting. So you have this big heart, and some people can take big hearts as kindness for weakness, right? Some people may benefit from it from a place of, you make me feel seen, you make me feel loved, you make me feel appreciated. But there's also still this jealousy, because some people don't have the capacity to have that love in their heart as you do. So it's a catch-22. And I kind of get this Judas energy, like someone around you loves you, but at the same time, you irritate their demons. You irritate something inside of them that they feel like they lack and that they can't have or possess. So it's like I can respect it because the energy is pure. Like, how can I hate on something like that? But at the same time, you irritate me. You know, I benefit from you. I take what you give, but at the same time, it's like, dang, well, why can't I be like that? Or why can't I have that? Why do they get to be this? And why do they get to do that? It's that pull. So I don't know how to paint the picture of who or what that could be for you, if this resonates anyway. Because these are people that if they had the opportunity to take your place, they would. It's like, it's nothing personal. It's like, it's a selfish gain. It's like, it's nothing personal. You my homie, you my homegirl, you're my friend, you're my sister, you're my brother. It's nothing personal. It's, yeah, see, the chariot. They want to be, if they could get ahead of you, they would. And it's not so much because they want to be better than you to prove that they're better than you. It's just because they want to be better, period. Hey, Ro, how are you? Yeah, it's just to prove that to themselves that they can move forward, they can have more. You know what's funny? Because I be watching movies and I just be thinking it's just because, but then it be coming out in my readings that it's a whole message. I don't know if you guys ever seen this movie. It's an old 90s movie. It's called Above the Rim. It has Tupac in it. What's his name? Dwayne Martin is the lead, and Leon, the actor Leon. Anyway, Tupac and Leon are brothers. Laminated folks. Yeah, they were brothers in the movie, and Leon, like in his high school days, he was a like a star athlete, basketball player, and his little brother, like, well, I guess Leon had this accident with his best friend. His best friend flew out of the window while they were playing basketball on a roof, which is the dumbest shit ever. But anyway, the friend flew out of the window, so it was kind of like this thing that kind of scarred him and marked him for life, and he never got his hoop dreams, his hoop dreams never went far. So he went back to his hometown. Um, and his little brother Tupac is like a street dude or whatever. And he's a fucking asshole in this movie. I could not stand Tupac in this movie. He was an asshole. But anyway, he wanted to prove to his brother that he could be something and he could be better than him, but to the point where it was so detrimental, to the point where he was just an evil character. And his brother, he would always like make fun of him about how basically he was weak, he was a punk because he did the 9 to 5 thing, he was a security guard. He started from scratch, and his brother would poke at him. He's like, I'm making money, I got a penthouse, we got this, we got that, like bragging. And he was a terrible person though, right? So he had this resentment towards his brother, like he owed him something and he had to prove something to his brother. In the end, like he ended up, dying in the end due to his actions. And the brother lived on and lived his life. So I would watch that movie if you feel like, I mean, it's just a good movie in general, but just the premise, just the symbolism behind some people, like they could love you, they could be your family, they could be your friends, they could love who you are, but still resent that at the same time. And this person is like, it's not so much really about you, it's about proving that they can just be better in general, even if that means stepping on a couple of toes, even if that means harming people or harming themselves in the process. That's the narrow versus the wide broad path. And then you see the duality with the Sphinx, right? So whoever this could resonate with you, whoever that Judas person is, that's the vibe that I get from them. They love you, they look up to you, they admire you because they genuinely do, to an essence, to the pure part of them. But the other half of them, that part that irritates the demons in them, that's what I'm getting. Like, you irritate certain parts within them, and that's not your problem. What's the divine justice card about? What's the divine justice card? Ten of Pentacles, Two of Wands, the Knight of Cups. So don't think for a second that your merits, or you're not going to get your just due when it comes to giving back. Okay. I feel like you've given to a lot of people. You've let a lot of people into your sacred space, whether that's literal, like your home, whether you help people get jobs, whether it was letting people into the sacred places of you and taking them into your, your home, which is your heart for some of you, just your heart, loving people, being kind to people, right? Um, you're gonna have to start being mindful of who you allow in your heart, your home, okay, your physical home for some of you, and just how you allow people in, not from a place of brokenness, from fear and mistrust, but from a place of wisdom. You see this older man? I feel like that represents wisdom. You can't call everybody family. You can't call everybody friends. You can't call everybody your sister, your bro. You got to be mindful of certain things, certain people. One of my sisters on here, Bianca, shout out to her. She DM'd me this video, and it was talking about like the biblical characters, Delilah. Can y'all hear me? Yes, that call knocked my sound out. So let me know if you guys can hear me before I continue, because nobody wants to call me any other time unless I'm asleep, doing something, or reading. People just be hitting me up. They don't be thinking about me no other time unless I'm doing something. Um, but yeah, so the story was that Samson told her what his weakness was. He got comfortable with her because he fell in love with Delilah. So he told her what his weakness was, which was his hair. So, or his strength was. So his strength was in his hair. So she cut his hair and he became weak. And I feel like, the Bible, you have to read it in spirit. You have to be able to decode it. And I feel like his hair represents his connection to spirit, his higher self, his wisdom, his, if you want to call it, his third eye, his crown chakra. So when she cut his hair, he he was weak. Okay, she got in his head. So you have to be careful of certain people that want you to give of yourself, but take, but take from you and give nothing to you, as well. And this isn't to scare anybody. This is wisdom, because whenever you have something that you want to achieve in life, there is always going to be an opposing force, whether it's your own mind. Oftentimes it is our own mind, our own way of thinking, our insecurities, our doubts, people around you that feel like they're not good enough, they can't do what you're doing, or what you're doing is wrong. It's like you're going to come across these people at times in your life. You have to know how to discern who's for you and who's not for you, and don't take it personal. People are going to be who they're going to be. That's just what it is. You might trigger people in a way that they've never been triggered before, but again, that's their own problem. That's their own issue. It has nothing to do with you. So the Two of Wands and the Knight of Cups, I feel like this is, yeah, still move with heart, still move with integrity, still move in compassion, but choose your path wisely. Not everybody is meant to come with, as painful as that is. How many of y'all have had times in your life where people you kicked it with for years, people that you thought was you were going to be tight with forever, you just swore up and down they would always be in your corner in your life, but some things change. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. Let me use this other mic just in case because this one has been tripping. It was acting crazy last night. Hold on. Mercury retrograde things, right? Yeah, I don't know what y'all heard. I don't know where. It's like this message doesn't want to come out. But what I was saying, if it gives you any peace to know that the people that have hurt you, that have offended you, that have betrayed you, that have lied on you, that have tricked you, deceived you, whatever, if it helps you to find peace and forgiveness in your heart, know that that purity, that love, that integrity, that pure intent that you had to give into love and hold compassion and space for people, they may have needed that. Most likely 99%, I guarantee you, those people needed that from you. They needed what you had to bring. They needed to know that there were people that have pure intentions, that there are people that are compassionate, that where they can be seen, where they are welcomed, where they are loved, where there's unconditional love here for you. Or if you have nowhere else to go, I can be that space for you at the time. So never look back at your circumstances and be like, oh, I was so stupid, I was so dumb, I should have been an asshole, I should have been a bitch, I should have did this, I should have did that, I shouldn't have been so nice, I was so dumb. Learn from it, but don't shame yourself. Remind yourself that sometimes you're placed in people's lives to be a blessing. It's up to them what they do with that gift. You can give somebody something, and if they don't feel like it's valuable enough at the time, they throw it in their closet, or they might put it somewhere where it's susceptible to get broken or get wet or to tear or whatever could happen to it, right? That's on them. That has nothing to do with you and your value and your worth. You were a gift. Simple and plain. So look at it from that perspective when you struggle to find forgiveness with others and forgiving yourself or shaming yourself. These people may have needed it at the time. So from now on, when people come into your space, your energy field, you have wisdom behind it, and you know the value of your worth, and you know that some people are not worthy. And when I say worthy, it's not to say they're not worthy as people, but they're not worthy to hold what you have. They don't hold the capacity to appreciate what you have to give and who you are, and that is okay. See if there's anything else for you. I feel like this was a dope ass message from Spirit, but Mercury be Mercury retrograding. Mercury is in micro braids again, and those micro braids is tight as hell. They've been, what did one of my sisters say? She said they've been braided by the Africans. You know, if you got your hair braided by an African, oh, child, them fingers is deadly weapons. I'm telling you. Everybody wants to call me. I'm telling you, it never fails. This message is like really choppy, and I understand like people that have short attention spans probably like, I don't want to watch this anymore. It's like, but it happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. But damn, I should have put my phone on do not disturb, because all of a sudden everybody want to call me and all that. It's like the dumbest times. Like I'll either be asleep, I'll be watching something really good, or I'll be giving a reading and people just want to call me, or the dogs be barking. Thank God they're not doing that right now. I don't want to speak too soon. Is this wood? It is wood. So I don't want to speak too soon, because Nova, you know, Nova is, she's annoying sometimes. When she hears people, she just barks. Well, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like Spirit wants me to use that. Let me use these. In closing, I like these cards for like advice cards. So, okay. Naive, it's not what it seems. So for some of you, you're learning that certain things are not what they appear to be. And this could be in relations to love, because I think this is supposed to be Summer Walker, the singer Summer Walker. So I'm getting like love energy. Elevate, hold yourself accountable. So back in the day, you may have not known what you know now, right? That's life, that's learning. Regardless if you're 50 years old, 60 or 70 years old, you're always learning. You can always learn more about life and about yourself and about others. So in the past, you may have been naive. You may have not understand certain concepts or things, or maybe with people, and you understand that certain things are not what they seem, and you have to use your discernment. You have to use your wisdom, right? Take your experiences into account. Don't scan everybody under the same eyes of what the last person did, or what this has happened to you, or I grew up like this. So you have to discern the difference, right? Be open, but also be discerning. And then elevate is, in order to elevate, you do always have to hold yourself accountable and be disciplined. Holding yourself accountable means being disciplined. It also means being honest with yourself. It also means being willing to do things that maybe are scary sometimes, or challenging, or things that maybe are uncomfortable to you, but knowing that it's for the best, it's for your highest good, it's for the highest good of others. You honor truth, you honor integrity, and you hold yourself to that. That's how you elevate. You're never going to get through life blaming everybody, shaming yourself, and allowing yourself, giving yourself the excuse that you can't or you won't, because that doesn't get us anywhere, right? It's a terrible feeling to hold yourself to this place where you feel like you're stuck, or you can't do something, or you're lesser than, or you're nobody, or hold yourself to maybe past offenses or mistakes. Learn from those things. Find wisdom in it within yourself. That's how you elevate. That's how you grow as a person. Yeah, see your situations differently. There may be situations where you may have looked at them from a space that may be a little bit painful to you. Be honest with yourself, of course, but see it from a positive perspective. I was doing a reading last night, and the question was about like her moving, and is it of her highest good to move to a different state? And I was guided to tell her, like, if we allow ourselves to look at our circumstances, and it was so not profound. It wasn't that nothing too deep, but it was like something that hit. It resonated with me as I was saying it. But let's say every challenge or obstacle or every life circumstance is a box, right? It's like a moving box. Let's say this is a box. And you say to yourself, yeah, I want to move to a different city or state, but I don't have the money to do that. And then you place that box in front of your path, the path that you need to walk through where you want to be. And then you say to yourself, well, I want to move to another city or state, but what about what my family's going to think? There you go. Put another box in front of you. Now it's blocking your path, and then so on and so forth. So yeah, these are things to consider. Your money, you know, my family and friends, how are they going to feel? You know, what about a job? How do I find a place? These are things to consider. But when you start putting obstacles in, making it an obstacle or making it a challenge, rather than saying, okay, I may not have enough money for it right now, but I can always save. I can cut this back. I can get another job, or I can start looking for places now so I know what my budget is, what my family and friends think. Well, those that really love me and care about me and want to see me do well, they're going to congratulate me. Yeah, they might miss me, but they want the best for me. They want what makes me happy. Those that have something to say, well, that's on them. I'm an adult. This is my life. If it's something that is not harming anybody, it's not harming me, then I shouldn't worry about that. Then you just move that box out of the way. Then your path is free to move forward. You have a clear path. So instead of taking the boxes and putting them in front of you as a block, because we tend to do that sometimes, even so, taking a challenge and turning it into a solution. A problem turns into a solution rather than continuously making that an excuse to block you. You know what I'm saying? So that was the analogy that Spirit gave me. So see your situation differently. See it differently. So yeah, I hope that resonates. You're welcome, Sam. And I apologize for the sound and the interruptions because phone calls were coming through while I was doing this reading, and I should have just put my phone on do not disturb, so that wouldn't be a problem. Because all of a sudden, oh, let me call you, let me FaceTime you, let me like stop, like y'all, leave me alone, leave me alone. All right. So much love as always, you guys. I hope this Friday blesses you and you enjoy yourself. Try to get through the rest of the day. Whatever, night, day, evening, whenever you're watching this, whether you're watching this on Friday, Venus Day, or you watch it tomorrow, you watch it whenever. If it's for you, cool. If not, that's cool too. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I will. I'm going to enjoy my few days off. And I'll catch you guys soon. Much love. Peace.